Now, for the world, Mandela became a symbol of peace and reconciliation as South Africa's first black president in a country scarred by bitter racial divisions. But for the people in his hometown of Qunu, he was just Rohihlahla, a man who, in spite of his extraordinary life, never forgot his origins. Emilie went to talk to his friends and relatives.
It is a place where life goes by, quietly and tranquilly. In the locality of Qunu, little has changed since Nelson Mandela lived there as a child almost a century ago. The Methodist church he attended in his childhood is still there, next to the new one. The songs from Sunday services still echo through the hills. His childhood stories are told to children by parents, teachers, and preachers. Son of a local Tembu chief, Mr. Mandela was brought up according to Tembu tradition and in the ways of rural life. It was an education and a people that never left him, says his niece Nobantu Timakwe.
My uncle, I see him as a very wise man, who loved his home, who knew his people. Even when he came back, after 27 years, he still remembered his people.
On this coastal land, people believe in diviners and traditional healers known as Sengomas and Inyangas. On these hills, Mr. Mandela would play traditional games such as stick fighting. He also became a herder, much like local boys today. At age 9, his father died and Rohihlahla was entrusted to the care of Jongin Taba and Dalin Diebo, acting regent of the Tembu people. Rohihlahla was educated with Justice, the regent's son, with whom he established a lifelong friendship. Nozozilem Tirara, Justice's widow, still lives there. She recalls that Mr. Mandela visited Mkwizeni after he was released from prison.
We welcomed him as a member of our family, even though Justice has already passed away. When he returned, he did many things for his people. He built a house for his sister, and finally he built one for me, showing his humanity towards everyone.
It is in this backyard that Mr. Mandela was groomed by Dalin Diebo to be counsel for the Tembu king, and where he first learned his leadership skills about governance and negotiation. His grandson, Mandela, believed this time was critical in shaping the future political leader.
No one as a leader was above any other citizen. And my grandfather, from his early days, those were the principles and the values that were instilled in him to become the person he became.
At 16, Nelson and Justice were sent to Tiarala, the Royal Manhood School on the Mbashi River, where he was initiated, underwent traditional circumcision, and was given his manhood name, Dalibunga. He then left here to attend university, but his grandson Mandela, now the chief of the Mandela family in Mvezo, says Mr. Mandela's spirit never left the places and people of his youth.
That is one thing that I would always treasure about my grandfather. His ability to remove himself from the greatest things that surround him globally and locate himself in a rural space with the ordinary citizens of our people. And to say that you must forever remember where we all came from.
When he was younger, Nelson Mandela built a house next to the family's graveyard with the intention to be buried there. The house isn't there anymore, but the graveyard remains. And it is next to his parents that the native son, turned international hero, is laid to rest. Emilie for VOA News, Qunu.